Diamond Matter channel, welcome. Right, I'll tell you what's happening now, yeah. Recently I started another channel to sort of be a bit of a sidekick to the Diamond Matter channel called Jewellery Reviews. And recently I just think, why do I keep starting new channels? Like, Diamond Matter channel is monetized, it's sort of in my interest to upload to that one, just concentrate on that. So I'm stopping the videos on the other channel now. So now when I make a new review video, it's just going to come here on the Diamond Matter channel. So they're a little different to what I normally do. I'm not teaching how to make stuff at the bench, but I am still sharing my knowledge and expertise by reviewing stuff I find online. It'll either be other YouTube videos or websites or just stuff I find, anything jewelry related. If I can offer some extra insight, I can do so with this channel. So I'm gonna watch a video today and then I will sort of talk over what's going on and just give you my opinion. So I was getting to it when I said thank you to a new patrons. We've got 2 new patrons the last couple of days. We've got Kane Matson and Andrea Corrin. Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate all the patrons. Like, this is my list I write down every month. I write down the new patrons, a whole bunch. So very, very grateful for all of you. I don't just sit here asking for money to help me continue the channel. I do actually offer something back, so you get a shout out on the channel. You get to see new YouTube videos 2 weeks before anyone else on YouTube, and you get access to all the full instructional guides and exclusive content and stuff. So I'm trying to create good value for the patrons as well, so it's not all one way. But yeah, if you want to become a patron, there's links in the description. It's not like a membership you can't get out of. You can come and go, you can do a custom pledge, whatever you want. But yeah, I'm very grateful for any money I receive from people. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. All the patrons, love you guys. Right, so let's get into this. Right, picking on Bobby White this time. I did do a Bobby White video recently. I just had I clicked on his channel and just looked at all his videos, just clicked down. I thought, oh, that's a nice big diamond, let's look at that ring. So let's get into it. So I've got this video ready to play. Looking at here, when you look at the title, first thing I noticed, yeah, when you look at the title on a phone, you can sort of get it really close to your face and really zoom in on it. Took a screenshot. I'll put this on the screen. When you zoom in on it, there's like a really bodge, like grey line over the ring, like he's trying to hide something on the title. I don't know why you would do that so badly, because I've got an app on this phone called Retouch. It would do that really perfectly if there's something to hide. And I know, like, from taking photos of jewellery, it might not necessarily be like a hole or some problem, but sometimes you're taking photos of polished jewellery, you just get like the whole thing looked really nice. There'd just be some weird yellow brown reflection from something. It can look horrible. So I think something like that's happened. You just wanted to hide it, but I just can't believe what a body's done. Just like a bit of grey colour, just drew a line on it. So for a channel that's got, like, how many subscribers he's got? He's got a ton. 712,000 subscribers. Quite a big channel. I think that's quite an appalling bodge just to do that on your photo. Anyway, let's get into the video.
In this video, you're going to see me make a 3-carat D-flawless platinum engagement.
Alright, let's turn this down a little bit. D-flawless, yeah, just a little thing. Notice it says D-flawless. It doesn't say internally flawless. Flawless diamonds, that means inside, perfectly clear, nothing going on. And it also means that outside, there's no scratches or marks or anything. You can get a scratched diamond that's really, really perfect inside. It's still internally flawless. It's only talking about what's inside. But when a diamond just says flawless, it's something really amazing. So you may not be aware of the difference between internally flawless and flawless.
Truly special.
But yeah, 3-carat, that's an amazing stone. Something like that. Don't get your hands on that kind of stone very often.
My job was to source in the perfect stone.
Alright, get on with it. Bad hair day. Right, let me sort this out. What is going on with the music on some of these videos? The music. And I always pick holes in people's music they put on their videos. This music. Like, what are you doing? Because I create videos on YouTube, yeah, I have to find little sound things sometimes what I can get copyright free. If you went on YouTube and typed copyright free instrumental hip hop, there's exactly this kind of crap you get. Sorry. Recovering from COVID, so I'm going to be coughing a lot, I think. Alright, let me concentrate on this video. Oh, I like that. It's got 2. I used to see that a lot years ago when I was at college in my apprenticeship. Jewellers around me, they'd have like a 2p coin, hammer it in the in the swage block, sorry, doming block, and then you can use it to put oil in, like he just did there. So it's a nice little trick. It's an old jeweller's trick for somewhere to keep your oil. I never bother myself. I had this little glass pot, works really well. Yeah, look at that. Let's solder two together. Right, so I'm still not concentrating on what he's doing. All right. It's working very neatly, very nicely as expect. Bobby White, very good jeweller. I'm always impressed with what he does. And I've got a rule for these videos, yeah, like my reviews of channels is I only punch up. So I'll only pick on people if they're mega successful jewelers, if they call themselves master, professor, whatever of jewelry, if they've got massive channels, I don't have to hesitate ripping into them. But any small channel, like if there's like some little jeweler from working in a village somewhere deep in the countryside of Indonesia or something, and he's making something with really basic hand tools, but I'm probably more likely going to be way more impressed than like these massive channels making like these massive fancy pieces. So I'll keep it relevant to what people are and what they're working with. But a channel like Bobby White, a jeweler like Bobby White, he's got all the money in the world, it seems, all the high-tech equipment, working on the highest, like the most special stones, working for celebrities and stuff. I got no hesitation. I like the guy, I think he's a good jeweler, but I've also got no hesitation to rip into his videos if I see something I don't like. Right, holding it parallel pliers, I like that. I'm a parallel pliers kind of jeweler. Nice heavy chunk of metal there, I like that as well. It's going to be strong. Everything's very neat on the bench. I don't know if that's just for the videos or whether he actually works like that. I would like to say that I'm a really tidy jeweler. I do respect people when they work with their benches really tidy. I'm sort of not as tidy as I wish I was. Got the files under the bench, that's what I do. Alright, get on with it. Okay, rolled it in. You probably turned it round 90 degrees and then rolled it back out. What's he doing now? It's got to be the shank in it. I got this saw frame, very happy with it. Notice he's cutting through, he's turned it up once, he's cutting it through once there, and then leaving just that, I'm gonna cough, a little bit of distance there, yeah. That's always a straight bit, a bit crummy, it's a bit rubbishy, a bit of no man's land, you can't really use it, it's always flat, and the end's always a bit horrible, so you've got to cut off a section. So this is the least amount of waste. He turned up just what he needed, and just aiming to cut off just the end. That's a good way to do that. A beginner mistake might be to curl it up, and then if you're cutting it back here, then you're then wasting all this length off that end. You want to cut off just the end of it. Does that make sense? All right. Come on, Bobster, do something. Ah, 2 pairs of parallels. I like this guy. I'm always needing 2 pairs of parallels to line things up, just like what he's doing. But I'm the only jeweler I know. I've worked amongst other people, loads of different people throughout my career. No one ever has 2 pairs of parallels, and I always really heavily rely on them. So it's nice for me to see Bobby doing it as well. This goddamn music. Sort of holding it up. I think he does a lot of stuff for the camera. I think he'd be working more down, hiding everything a bit more closely to his sort of lap, like hammering and stuff, but because he's got to make a video and show clearly what he's doing, I do feel there's a little bit of exaggeration, the way he holds things up and does stuff. A lot of wear on a bench peg. Let's have a look. Right. I think I did say in one of my previous videos, when I was talking about Bobby White, everything always looks really clean and tidy in the background, and I did make a joke that I bet just off camera he shoved all his tools all over the side, and that might be the case here. It sort of looks like there's a lot of junk just shoved over the top just to make this clear. Also, I'm noticing he hasn't got a heat plate, unless that's a small one built into the bench there. But yeah, there's a lot of burn marks all over his bench. You need something a bit bigger than that. Metal plate. I reckon, you know, you get granite worktops for kitchens. I reckon a nice granite plate would be really good for protecting your bench against heat and scratches and stuff. Might be a bit hard, maybe a bit unfriendly with some gemstones, I don't know. All right. Hey, what's he doing? So he's just going around this by hand. He hasn't marked it out or anything. I'm assuming he's going to put claws in that. That's a bit clever if you can just do that by hand. That's the wire. Making little U shapes. Hang on, I want to see how neat that was. That's quite incredible if you can just sit there by hand, by eye, and just do that by hand. Take that off. These do look pretty good, but not like amazing. The old bench slot trick is well worth doing. I've talked about it loads of times in my videos. It's worth having a slot on your bench peg for holding things in. This is really conveniently in front of you as well. Okay, so he's done all these by hand, putting U shapes in. So they don't look. That's all right. If I was doing that, if I really had to do it that way, like if I was working with Bobby and he said I had to do it like that, I would prefer just to do a few, solder them on, and then clean it up, and then do the next few. Just to have a load on there all in one go. I think, for me, myself, I'm more likely to end up with something a bit more wobbly. I'd rather do like, sort of, maybe 4 or 6 pairs, and then get them really lined up perfectly, sitting just how I want. If I've got to adjust the phrasing I did a little bit, you can do it then. And really concentrate on smaller amounts in one go. Just to do it all like that, for me, I'm more likely to make a bit of a mess of it. Snipping them off. I don't like snipping things when they're soldered both ends, because those cutters, they kind of spread the metal, so it's sort of squashing out of shape. It's not just cutting through it, it's sort of doing that. So all those U's they won't go like that, it'll snip through it. They won't just separate, they'll come out a little bit. So it bends them about a little bit, which I don't like. So yeah, you've got to do a lot of snipping, mate. So we haven't seen him do much soldering. That was a whole world of soldering. That's like a whole afternoon of soldering we didn't see on the video. Let's have a quick look at the, sorry. Loads of bits of metal, stones in there, ruler, don't know what that is. He's already made that part, look. Yeah, nothing really interesting. It's like loads of dividers, pin vices. He ain't got charcoal block, he's got these like fake asbestos ones I don't like. He's got all his pliers are under the bench. I like that idea. Mine are sort of on the edge, and I scratch my forearms on them quite a lot. So it's quite good they're down there. Excuse me. Right. What I'm noticing is, that's not the ring he just made. You can see how people mislead you on videos. That's just like a bought-in mount or some CAD thing he created. And it's probably more likely he's in Hatton Garden, yeah, you can just like go over to like River Mounts or wherever and just get that and buy that over the counter. That's not handmade. You can see the end of the claws, he was just snipping them, yeah? They ain't snipped, they're like rounded. Well, it's just exactly like a casting that you buy like a ready-made mounts. So, yeah, Bobby, see what you're up to. You didn't just hand make that, you made out you did. That bothers me when flux builds up. You can just break it in your fingers, it comes off. Like, do what you want. Hang on, let's check your work. Even I'm moaning about he's using a handmade that mount bought in. This looks really nicely made. I do like this. These pieces fitting quite nicely, so it's working quite well. Be really careful to line things up when you're putting that on top of a shank. Make sure it's not turned. Checking all the angles, you've got to look all around it, make sure it's all flat and straight. Because It's very unforgiving if it's just slightly across to the centre or slightly tilted. You'll really see it on that big flat piece there. That said M on one of the files. It means you stole it off someone at college. Oh, hang on. Sorry, it was a W upside down. White. All right, Bobs. He's not a thief. You have to, like, tweezers especially at college, they go missing. You think jewellers will be trustworthy, yeah, because part of your job is being trusted. You can't have thieves in the workshop. Go to jewellery college, everybody's stealing each other's tools. So, really common. People are scratching their, or engraving their initials and all their stuff. I remember when I was at college, like, you lose your favourite pair of tweezers, you're like, oh, like you left them by the sink or something, you never see them again. And then like 6 months later, you'll see them by the sink again, you're like, oh, thank you, they come home. You have to steal them back off someone who stole them off you months before. Okay, a lot of drilling. Yeah, look, this is so not handmade. That, okay, look at that. But yeah, Bobby's very, very neat, very good at his setting. Everything drilled out, phrased out really nicely. So I want to learn setting, yeah, but I'm not sure if I've got the patience to actually sit and do that amount of drilling and phrasing. It's like I'm not conditioned for it. Even if you could just give me the skill, all the tools, all the skill, okay, sit down and do it. I wouldn't have the conditioning of all the years of practice of actually doing loads and loads of it. Like, I wouldn't be able to concentrate more than a few hours, which would be not enough time to actually do a load of pave setting, or drilled out and phrased out and doing all the setting. It takes years of conditioning just for that, just for the mindset to actually sit down and get on with it. Excuse me. I do like the look of those pneumatic engravers. I want to try one. This is magnetic. It's a diamond magnet. That's why it picks up the stones really well. Alright, get on with it. Turn the music off at last. See, it makes it look easy, yeah, just phrasing it out. Cut a groove down the middle, and then he just got this pusher thing, just pushes the bits over. Notice he's not done the corners. I'm assuming after the claws are on and the centre one's set, it gives you a bit more space to work around that corner stone. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, not set. Just music. Can you hear that? What was that? It's like a classical piece. That's Eric Satie, a French composer, Gymnopédie No. 1 or No. 3 or something. Like a crap, free, copyright-free hip-hop instrumental version of a classical piece of music. What's this? Like methylated spirits stuff. Never bother with it. If you just, that borax flux, if you just really flux those diamonds, that'll be fine for soldering. With easy, anyway, easy solder. This is platinum. And it burns off. I don't like it. I used to find, I used to use it, try and use it, because I worked with someone who used to love it, and they recommended me trying it, but things I didn't like about it was, it doesn't, if you've got solder near where you put it on, it kind of ruins your ability to solder nicely. And then also, if you spill a little bit on the floor, it gets really slippery. That was a concrete floor workshop then. It used to be really slippery under my feet. It used to really bother me, so I never got on with that sort of methylated spirits stuff that you burn off. So he's got his like workbench, he's making stuff, then he scoops across this side, and then this is all his setting equipment. So hang on, we didn't see these claws going in, or I just wasn't paying attention. That's what. Okay, right. That's what. So that's what he's doing. Yeah, right. That bit. Claws are in. I do like that idea of putting that sort of claws in, like two V's together, and they just sit in position. I like the way they come down under the ring. One thing I'm going to say about this mount, it's quite deep, which means it's going to be which means it's going to be really uncomfortable when you're wearing it. When a lady's wearing that thickness it's going to stick into the finger either side of it. It's going to be uncomfortable to wear. It's too deep. It's a problem when you've got big stones going all the way around. They've got depth to them and they make the rings uncomfortable. And a claw is a bit sort of spiky and bumpy. It's not going to be a nice ring to wear. But maybe when something's extra big and glittery, you kind of suffer for the pizzazz of it. You happily wear that discomfort because it's just so sparkly and showy offy. Right, snipped them off, straight to the ball cup burr, sorry. The cup burrs with 2 slots in, they cut really well. You can literally go and just all the metal frays off. They're really fun to use. And look at it, look how deep it is. That's really not a comfortable ring to wear. It's got that heat form stuff, which I don't like. It clogs up all the back holes, yeah. I can't get on with it. This is going to be painful to polish in platinum. It's going to take a bit of careful buffing. Oh, that's going to be cut up anyway. Alright, alright. Okay, take that out. Put it in his tea. Lovely jubbly Morsan. Pulls that out. It is well made though. Oh, there's no, hang on, there's no back holes. Yeah, it's all solid around the back. GIA means we're going to see the stone soon. Look at that. That's a really special stone. This is the bit I'll talk about the title. On the title, it like covered up a little bit. I don't really understand why, because I believed it's all polished out and done nicely, but there's obviously something didn't look very favourable in the photo they had to hide. But yeah, well made. I've never really got a complaint with his craftsmanship or what he does. Just some videos hide a few little things that are what's going on in reality. Oh, he's gone back to this shitty music. Right, hang on, let me turn this down. Pushing that over. There you go, make sure that's flat. Wallop. Fits nicely though, and I like the way it sits right down on it. It's like a really nice, complete, solid shape across the top. But yeah, I really like the ring, but I don't agree with how the depth of the shank. It just makes me really feel like it's going to be an uncomfortable ring to wear. Probably going to file them to little points. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, little point and then round off the top. It's really important that point is down on the stone, because if it's lifted up a little bit, it's like a little hook and it can catch on clothing and then pull up even more, or you can scratch yourself on it. So you've got to make sure the claws are right down on the stone. Okay. Bobby White's really good at finishing jewellery. His polishing is always top notch, so he does his close-ups afterwards and you can't really pick a fault in it. Everything's always polished really nicely, everything's made really well. Yeah, look, it's just that distance there. It's going to be so uncomfortable to wear. It'd be nice if they just tapered down in size a little bit. Maybe 1, 2, and then 3, 4, next size down, and then another 2 this size, and then the sides are it's going to be much narrower, or much less deep. It just looks overly heavy. But, well, sparkly. I'm sure that's what the customer ordered. He's just doing what they asked for, so not a problem. You can see in between the stones, so it was important that should have been really polished before the stones went in. Almost looks like he hasn't polished it. Could just be the lighting. No, it doesn't look polished under the stones. Should have been, really. I think that's going to be a really heavy ring, being all solid inside as well, not drilled out. That was at the end. Okay, that was the end. That was it. Making a 3 carat D flawless engagement ring by Bobby White. and I'm Diamond Melter. That was my opinion, another professional jeweler. Yeah, so there you go. Click like and subscribe and all that, and stay tuned for more jewellery reviews.